Now at 10, a Neosho skating rink hosts a skate and donate event for the local help center. Plus, the Freedom of Flight Museum hosts a Wings and Wheels event in Joplin. And an area axe company wraps up its Fire and Ice event with a knife throwing tournament.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police say a car crashed into a house Friday morning after hitting another vehicle. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Snowy. It happened around 11 a.m. Friday at East 26th and South Pitcher Avenue. Authorities say 2 vehicles collided at the intersection, causing one of them to go off the road and crash into a house. One of the drivers received non-life-threatening injuries. No one was in the house at the time of the crash. 2 municipal corrections officers in Kansas City, Missouri are on unpaid leave after striking a detainee at the municipal court. The officers were taking him to the Vernon County Jail. We want to warn you, some viewers may find these images disturbing. Reporter Peyton Headley has more.
It's another example of misbehavior by police who are often unaccountable.
It's frustrating for Doug Schaefer, an activist with More Squared, to see how municipal corrections officers treated a detainee in Kansas City, Missouri.
It's frustrating that there was almost a gang mentality when I saw the video.
Surveillance video begins in a 3rd-floor hallway, showing corrections officers pushing a man who's resisting against a wall, into a corner, and then onto the floor. What started with 2 corrections officers turns to a group of a dozen. They begin to carry the man when he's seen kicking an officer. The video then shows 2 corrections officers kicking him in return. They then drag him through the hallway by a chain around his ankles, then through a holding cell lobby, and finally into the elevator. When the elevator makes it to the basement, he's standing again with his shirt over his head. There, corrections officers give the man a wheelchair. That's also where the man is seen spitting on an officer. Video shows the officers then try to subdue him and begin hitting him. At one point, one of the officers has to be pulled away and held back. Different views show the man being shuttled through basement tunnels and then taken to the garage. Only one video has audio. In it, you can hear the man yelling.
We have people whose job is to protect us and even protect our loved ones who might happen to be in jail, and instead they're abusing people rather than protecting them.
Schaefer says it's a violation and there needs to be justice.
We want officers that are trained to respect our common humanity.
The mayor of Marion, Kansas is suspending its chief of police after the police department raided the office of a newspaper and the home of the publisher. Back in August, Marion PD seized computers, cell phones, and other materials from the Marion County Record. Law enforcement says it was investigating identity theft and, quote, unlawful acts concerning computers. No word yet on how long the suspension could last. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at weather.
All right, and it's a beautiful look at the weather this weekend with somewhat like temperatures, but radar right now is clear in our local area. A lot of this is just ground clutter and moisture in the atmosphere. There are some showers, though, out to the west in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, but it's going to be a while before that gets here. We're going to see temperatures dropping through the 70s into the 60s tonight with a low of 65. The allergies tomorrow are going to be a little bit better. 6.0 today, 5.8 tomorrow, with most of that being ragweed and chenopod. And taking a look at your bus stop forecast, looking pretty good in the morning, temperatures in the mid 60s. And then as they come home from school, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 80s. And looking down the lane, we're going to have a warm Monday with increasing clouds for your Tuesday. Storms on Wednesday, some of those could be heavy, and then some fall-like temperatures behind that system. And I'll detail all that in just a little bit.
The Skateland Fun Center of Neosho opened its doors today for a Skate and Donate event. The purpose of the event was to help those that may need food ahead of the holiday months. Each skater that brought 3 non-perishable items to donate to the Help Center in Neosho were able to skate for free during the event.
We do this at least once a year, a free skate for the, we give it to the Help Center behind us for the Neosho food baskets for, those that need it the coming season.
The skate session began at 2 p.m. and wrapped up around 4 p.m. For those of you who are curious about what exactly happens to old planes, the Freedom of Flight Museum hosted an event today, Wings and Wheels, where pilots in the 4 states area bring their aircrafts to be put on display. KOAM's Jasmine Knight was in attendance and has more information.
Today, the Freedom of Flight Museum hosted a Wings and Wheels event at the Joplin Regional Airport. The event featured a car and motorcycle show, kids' activities, and multiple aircrafts on display.
And today, all of the money is going to the operations of our museum and our STEM education program. And boy, everybody's just having a really fun time today. There's all kinds of stuff to do. There's cars to look at, there's airplanes to look at, there's activities for the kids.
The goal of the event is to raise money to support youth STEM education. In the past, the Freedom of Flight Museum has hosted field trips for elementary students to teach them the concepts of STEM through aviation.
We learned that doesn't matter who you are or what you are, you can come in and be a pilot or be an astronaut. And we also wanted to learn that there are many jobs in science and technology.
Amongst the activities on display, children can launch a rocket, play with robots, build and ride their own hovercraft, and so much more. However, for visitors like Riker, his favorite part was outside.
Oh, everything seems pretty fun. The free popcorn was pretty cool. The Venom part over there, I think the whole thing's awesome.
So whether you want to get up and fly away, or just cruise the streets,
Well, I'm gonna get this cool parachute.
the Wings and Wheels event has everything you need. Reporting in Web City, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
For more information about the event, you can visit our website, koamnewsnow.com. Throwers from all around the 4 states showed off their skills today with the knives tournament at Anvil Axe Company in Neosho. Competitors competed in a traditional knife throwing competition. The tournament was double elimination, with the top 3 competitors each walking away with a trophy to celebrate their throwing skills.
Arms are feeling good. This wasn't like a large tournament, so there wasn't like 128 people here, so you didn't have to throw that many matches. Sometimes you have to throw quite a few in a tournament. So arm feels good, everything like that, but the competition was still there.
The knives tournament concluded Anvil Axe Company's weekend-long schedule full of tournaments. Coming up, Congress temporarily avoids a government shutdown. We'll break down what the short-term bill includes. Plus some reaction from Washington, D.C. residents regarding the short-term spending bill. Bipartisanship saved the day just hours before the federal government was set to shut down. But the road to reaching a long-term spending deal could be a bumpy one. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry is in Washington, D.C. with the latest.
The day after Congress averted a federal government shutdown, President Biden warned Republicans that time is running out for providing more money for Ukraine.
We cannot, under any circumstance, allow American support for Ukraine to be interrupted.
Before Saturday's midnight deadline, the president signed a 45-day government funding package after Congress passed the bill in the nick of time.
Enough is enough is enough. This is not that complicated. The brinkmanship has to end, and there shouldn't be another crisis.
The deal will keep the government running through mid-November, but items including border security could make a longer-term spending agreement an uphill battle.
After trying to take our government hostage, MAGA Republicans won nothing.
The spending deal passed with bipartisan support.
We're going to make sure we keep it open while we finish the job we're supposed to do.
But Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was forced to give up demands for steep spending cuts from his party's extreme right flank and instead relied on help from Democrats. That could put McCarthy's speaker job in peril.
I do intend to file a motion to vacate against Speaker McCarthy this week. I think we need to rip off the Band-Aid. I think we need to move on with new leadership.
The Speaker responded on CBS's Face the Nation.
That's nothing new. He's tried to do that from the moment I ran for office. I'll survive.
The stopgap spending plan includes $16 billion in disaster relief. That kind of funding is aimed at helping with scenes like Friday's extreme flooding in New York. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Well, D.C. residents today voiced their views on the stopgap bill, which narrowingly averted a government shutdown. One voter said she felt excited because a shutdown would be too much of a risk for families. Another voter, however, said some might feel betrayed and that it made more sense for Republicans to allow the shutdown.
I was excited. Coming from a community of color, I know that there's too much at risk for our families should there be a shutdown, especially financial hardships and everything that was at risk.
So from the Republican perspective, it seems to me that it would make more sense to allow for the shutdown and to insist on pushing through their version of budget. As it is, it seems that they just pretty much gave up in order to not let shutdown to happen. But as a consequence, they kind of betrayed their own voters. That's how I feel about it.
If the bill was not passed, it would have been the fourth partial government shutdown in a decade. On Wednesday afternoon, every television, radio, and a cell phone in the United States will send out an electronic warning tone of an emergency alert. But don't be concerned, it's only a test. The test will be conducted at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will last about 30 minutes. It's called the Nationwide Emergency Alert Test. No action is required by the public. A little later, Hyundai and Kia recall more than 1 million cars due to fire risk. We'll take a look.
And we have some big changes in our forecast, especially as we head towards the middle part of the week. I'll have all the details on that when we come back. Well, we've made it through another summer-like weekend across the area with temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s, but fall is on the way. Let's take a look outside right now at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort this morning. As we go into motion, you can see that we had a few clouds this morning, but then the sun came out and lots of blue skies across the area, allowed temperatures to really warm up into the upper 80s. Now we have some increasing clouds coming in from the west as some cirrus clouds start to move in. This afternoon we made it up to 88 after starting out at 66. Of course, that was above the normals of 76 and 53. Radar is clear right now, and it's expected to stay that way for at least the next 36 hours. As you can see, rain chances are going to be pretty close to zero as we go through time, but as we head towards the middle part of the week, that's when rain chances will start to pick up. Temperatures right now are generally in the upper 60s and lower 70s, 71 in Neosho, 70 in Monette, as well as Cassville, 69 already in Chanute, as well as Lamar and Pittsburgh. Ridge of high pressure has been in control for several days, and as a result, the storm system on the west coast has been having a hard time making it to the east, but as we go through time, it will eventually pull out into the plains on Tuesday and send a cold front through here, and that's when we're expecting the showers and thunderstorms to develop, and then it's slowly going to move out of here on Thursday, so we keep the showers going into Thursday morning, but then a real big shot of cool air is going to come in behind that storm system just in time for the weekend. So it looks like fall is definitely going to be making its presence known. Rainfall amounts are expected to be heaviest along and south of I-44 on this next storm system, with a large area expected to get some precipitation on the GFS. The European model, though, is a little bit drier, so it's probably going to be somewhere in between there, with most areas getting around 3/4 to an inch of rainfall with that system on Wednesday. But in the meantime, it's going to be dry tonight with lows in the 60s on south winds. Then tomorrow, another warm day, summer-like, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, especially out towards the west. And then as we go into Tuesday morning, increasing clouds and moisture on south winds with lows in the 60s. Tuesday afternoon, scattered showers developing out towards the west with highs in the upper 80s out there. And then on Wednesday, some more scattered showers and storms developing across our area with lows near 70. Over the next 7 days, big chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 75. And then as we go towards Thursday, cooler, 74. Cooler still as we head towards Saturday with a high of only 65. And in the mornings, we could actually see lows in the 30s up to the north, but 40s pretty much everywhere else. So definitely fall is coming in right now as we head towards the forecast. So no more 90s. That's it.
Looks good to me. Thanks, Sam. Hyundai and Kia warn owners that certain cars can catch fire and millions of student loan borrowers need to pay up. Christine Lazar explains in this Eye on Consumer report.
Federal student loan payments are resuming in October after a more than 3-year suspension during the pandemic. However, borrowers may qualify for lower monthly payments under the SAVE plan. Some may even have a zero payment, depending on how much they make and the size of their family. For the next 12 months, borrowers can also skip payments without facing the financial consequences of defaulting on their loans. Kia and Hyundai are recalling more than 3.3 million vehicles over potential fire risks. Federal regulators say Hyundai is recalling 13 different models from 2010 through 2015 because a brake fluid leak could spark a fire. Kia is recalling a dozen models from 2010 through 2019 due to a possible electrical short that can also ignite. And Pringles is joining forces with the Caviar Company to create new luxury snack kits. The Crisps and Caviar collection will feature Pringles sour cream and onion, original, and barbecue flavors paired with white sturgeon caviar and smoked trout roe. Prices range from $49 to $140. That's your Eye on Consumer. I'm Christine Lazar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Coming up in sports, we take a look at the current MIAA football standings. Plus, a St. Louis Cardinals legend says goodbye. Brock Balderich has the story in the highlights.
We are through the first 5 weeks of the MIAA college football season. Both Missouri, Southern, and Pittsburgh State are among the top 5 teams in the conference standings. Let's take a look at those standings. Here are your top 5 teams in the MIAA at the moment. Pittsburgh State is now all alone in first place, as the Gorillas are officially the only remaining undefeated team in the MIAA. Second place is Central Missouri, and third place is Emporia State. They were also undefeated until they lost on Saturday to Missouri Western. Pitt State fans, mark those calendars because the Gorillas will host Emporia State this Saturday at Kearney Smith Stadium. That's going to be a good game there. As far as the rest of the standings go, Missouri Western 4th place, and Missouri Southern, despite losing to Central Oklahoma on Saturday, they're still alone in 5th place. Well, the Kansas City Chiefs are on the road for the second time this season. They are in the Big Apple for Sunday Night Football against the New York Jets. Fortunately, due to NFL league policy, we're unable to show you any highlights from this game, but it's officially over just moments ago. Chiefs win this game as they defeat the New York Jets. They hang on 23-20. First win for Kansas City in New York for the first time since 2002. Mahomes was a little rusty tonight, but he did just enough with his legs. Isaiah Pacheco was huge in this game with 115 rushing yards and a touchdown. Chiefs will be back on the road next week versus the Minnesota Vikings. Elsewhere in the NFL earlier on Sunday, Las Vegas Raiders visit the Los Angeles Chargers, AFC West matchup. First quarter, Justin Herbert's going to run with it. 12 yards out, he scores a touchdown. Chargers lead 7-0. Later in the first, Raiders have the ball, 2nd and goal. They do the little Philly tush push here. Rookie quarterback Aiden McConnell scores his first NFL touchdowns, now tied 7-7. Fast forward to the fourth quarter now. Chargers lead 24-17, under 3 minutes to go. 4th and 10, gotta have it here. Devontae Adams makes the catch, move the chains. First down Vegas. Very next play, McConnell, rookie mistake. That is intercepted by Asante Samuel. Game not over yet. Chargers need a first down to close it out. So now, 3rd and 10, Justin Herbert is going to drop back, and he will connect to his receiver, Josh Palmer, and that will do it. Chargers survive. They beat the Las Vegas Raiders 24-17. Well, this Sunday is the final day of the Major League Baseball regular season. No, the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals will not be going to the postseason this year, but there's always a chance to rejoice when you play game number 162. Cardinals versus the Cincinnati Reds. Adam Wainwright, what a career he has had. Enjoys his final game of his long 18-year MLB career before his retirement. On to the game now. St. Louis trails 2-1. 3rd inning, Jordan Walker is going to drive this ball into the gap. A run will score to tie the game. RBI double for Walker. It's 2-2. Next batter, Luken Baker. It's this one as it rolls all the way up to the wall. Walker will score. Redbirds now lead 3-2. Later in the inning, Jose Fermin up at the plate. He will hit this one up the middle for an RBI single. 4 runs is all the Cardinals needed. St. Louis wins the final game of the year over Cincinnati 4-3. Over to Kauffman Stadium, Kansas City. The Kansas City Royals are hosting the New York Yankees. Second inning, no score. MJ Melendez. There it goes. See ya. Solo home run. Royals lead 1-0. Later in the inning, Nick Prado at the plate. He hits this one through the right side of the infield. RBI single. Royals going to score here. It's 2-0 Kansas City. In the bottom of the fourth now, Edward Olivares up at the plate. And folks, we have liftoff. It's this one deep into the sky, out to the Sonic Slam seats. It's a solo home run. Boys in blue now lead it 3-0. 2 batters later, Darion Blanco, he hits it high, he hits it deep, and it is gone. The Royals win over the Bronx Bombers 5-2. It's a long Major League Baseball season, but the Kansas City Chiefs were able to hold on tonight.
And I can't believe they haven't won since 2002 in New York.
In New York, yes. So okay. I mean, it's kind of weird, but
especially with Mahomes taking over,
yeah,
like you'd think that they would.
First game against the Jets on the road for Mahomes.
Well, good to know. Thanks, Brock. And we'll be right back. A final look at the week ahead, Sam.
We are going to be looking at a warm day tomorrow and then again on Tuesday, but then rain comes in Tuesday night, Wednesday, especially Wednesday. Some of the rain could be heavy, and then getting out of here by late Thursday. And then look at that. Next weekend, absolutely picture perfect with highs in the 60s and 70s and lows in the 40s.
I'm ready for some actual October weather.
I think most of us are. With the baseball season ending, Zach Greinke may have played his final game with the Royals. Also, another little Royals note, they won today. If they would have lost, they would have set the season franchise for the most losses, but they tie the season franchise for the most losses with 106. So I think Royals and Cardinal fans are relieved the season is over. We don't have to talk about or see that anymore.
There's always next year.
There's always next year, yeah.
Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.